If you were to ask me what the greatest place to go visit if you've never been outside of the country before would be, it's Japan.
Good to see you. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Japan was incredible the first time I ever went. This was back when we were doing stuff with Torque Motorsport and Torque Drift 2. We went out there and we spent almost 2 weeks at Fuji Speedway looking at Formula Drift Japan cars, spending time with different people, scanning cars and doing interviews with drivers that were 13 years old. But during that time, my eyes opened as to what made Japan so cool. And so the moment that I could actually take someone with me back, I did. And Becca and I went, and we went to go enjoy the northern side of Japan. We got to go enjoy Ibisu. We stayed at a natural onsen hotel. We rented a car and drove all the way from Nihonmatsu all the way down to Kyoto and Osaka. And the 2.5 weeks that were there with Michelin and doing stuff with Gran Turismo and being able to experience the local car culture of Osaka taught me again how incredible this country was. And this wasn't something where I was trying to become and learn Japanese. It wasn't something where I was trying to compare as if it was better than America or that it was better than other places. But for some reason, going here just felt different. This feeling of communal agreement and feeling of respect was something that I think anyone who's been out in the world and has experienced the social archetypes of the United States, they feel like you're taking a refreshing shower when you go to Japan. But there is also this level of humbleness and respect that if you've never experienced it before, it just feels perfect. And so after I could bring Becca back in 2023, I wanted to bring more people. And so last year, you and I took Greg to Tokyo Auto Salon, and we got to experience probably one of the coolest international motor shows of all time. We got to meet incredible people and hang out with fantastic friends and enjoy delicious food and experience Fuji Speedway driving our very own R34 GTR. And why am I saying all this? Why does any of this matter? Well, because by the time you're watching this, I'm taking the entire team of MartinIWorks and MetaMartini to Japan.
How we feeling, Dakota? How we feeling?
Hungry. Hungry.
Don't lose your Suica card, Greg.
That's 12 people that we're taking to Japan, that we're going to be driving around Tokyo, going to Chiba to enjoy Tokyo Auto Salon, and to get these people who, many of which, outside of Greg, have never even been outside of the country before. Now, why am I sharing all of this with you? I mean, at the end of the day, there's supposed to be a story behind this, and I think there is. We have been on this journey for 3 years together since I left that previous company, and ever since I started on this new journey, figuring out how I'm supposed to feel comfortable sticking out like a sore thumb has been really, really tricky. There's been so many mistakes that I've made over the years, and so many times that I've questioned if the decision and thing that I was doing with you guys, whether it was with MartinIWorks or MetaMartini, was the right thing. But we've grown. We are sitting in a beautiful shop with cool cars and being able to tell really cool stories with you guys and gals that choose to come in and listen to them every single day. And as we've grown, we've brought new people onto the team, people that we've known for the past 7 years and people who we've just met. But you deserve to know that because of you, we're now taking this team for their very first time to Japan. If you've ever been before, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you've never been, consider this your informal invitation that you need to go. There are so many incredible things that you can do in Japan. And I think one of the biggest things, since we're talking about cars and we're car people and we're motorsport people, is understanding the Japanese car culture. Not that you have to like everything, but you do have to give credit where credit is due.
Can a car show get any better?
No, dude, this is literal perfection. It doesn't get any better than this.
The level of dedication that this community has towards cars is insane. You have to remember, all the way back in the 40s is when essentially the automobile industry really started taking off. And after World War II, there was a lot of angst and resentment in the Japanese community for the government and what they were supposed to even do with their life following the war ending. It was the end of World War II that really founded the basis of what you would come to know as the Bosuzoku and the wild gangs that were formed around motorcycle clubs in Japan. It's what springboarded this feeling of anti-establishment that really started to feed individual Japanese creation that was not only meant to be loud, but was meant to be against the grain. Now, when the Bosuzoku got older and they had kids, the Bosuzoku's children weren't really into motorcycles as much as their parents were and didn't quite understand that culture as well. With the banning of knives and with the ultimate crackdown of the Bosuzoku as we got into the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s, the generations that followed the Bosuzoku didn't turn to motorcycles to be their key piece of expressionism. It was cars. And because cars and because being proud of what you created and what you did were so strong in Japan, the development of everything around cars grew with it. It's not to say that it's better than any other group of people who loved cars, but it was so concentrated. It was so built on this element of expressionism and individualism that really sparked some of the most creative cars and creative build styles that I don't think you'd really see anywhere else. Well, the Japanese were dealing with the Bosuzoku culture, exploding their style of creativity, and the Americans were dealing with the growth of the hot rod culture, ultimately into the Chicano culture of the Southwest Hollywood that was leading to some of the craziest builds ever that were much different than those in Japan. And the European car culture was busy developing some of the craziest racing cars of all time. The Japanese hit this perfect little pocket of why I think we all seem to love Japanese car culture, because we get to enjoy what that individual expression is. These cars that have, for many of us, just been posters on the wall, GTRs and Silvias and R33s and 3000 GTs and RX-7s. These are the cars that we could never get here in America.
This is insane. To try to put this into words for a younger me, I don't think makes any sense. Like, I don't know that I could do it, because it's like, take everything that you think, careful, take everything that you think a car meet in Japan is like, and then turn it up to 11, and that's what it is. Like, it's Fast and the Furious IRL, and the cars are sick, and the diversity. What is that?
And over there, you see them. You see them not collecting dust, but you see them getting driven. You see people that are 60, 70 years old that still have these cars. You get this sense of pride. And that feeling is intoxicating. It fuels so much. Anyone that's been to Japan, I hope you can agree with me on this in the comments below. And if you think I'm glazing, I'm sure you'll let me know. But that feeling is cool. And getting to share that with people is even more unique. Getting to share that with people who come into this office at 8 a.m. every day and help try to make this dream push forward is something I've always wanted to do as a business owner. It's something that I've always felt obligated to do because I get to go on all of these really incredible trips because of you and because of these incredible partners that I get to work with. And so if you're out there, or if you want to know what to do in Japan, I'm gonna start you out real easy. The first place you should always go to is spend time in Tokyo. Enjoy what that JR line has to offer between Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ginza, and all of those places, even downtown Tokyo. It is an incredible place where you can spend days. And it's so English friendly, you'll never feel like you're too lost. Now, if you wanna have more of an Anthony Bourdain trip, you certainly can, because that is typically how I travel. I try to get as far away from comfortability as humanly possible, but with a group of 12, it's gonna be hard enough to find places to eat. If you're going in January, Tokyo Auto Salon is the coolest show and coolest trade show I could ever recommend to anyone. And it shows you just how passionate, not just aftermarket outlets are towards this community, but the manufacturers as well. It's easy to pick on a Toyota or a Mitsubishi or a Nissan or a Subaru until you're there and you see how much love they give to their own brand and to the employees that make those companies run. If you want to go further north, you can hop on a Shinkansen. You can head all the way up to Yokohama. You can go rent a Toyota from a Toyota Rent-A-Car, and you can go drive to Ibisu, which is about an hour away. If you want to rent a car, you can do that from the Sideways Drift experience for $1,000 a day, and it is an incredibly fun time. You can stay at a local hotel, which has natural onsens that cost $300 to $400 a night, which is expensive, but you'll save the money because you'll be buying 7-Eleven egg sandwiches and pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you want to go further south and you want to ask yourself, is Kyoto and Osaka truly worth the trip? Absolutely. And if you can drive it, even better. Now, you can take a Shinkansen or bullet train pretty much anywhere in the country, but the Osaka car culture is so different than the Tokyo car culture that I think it deserves its own special trip if you can ever make it out to the PAs in the Osaka area, because that car culture is incredible. It's the only place actually where I had seen a C5 or C6 Corvette with Volks on it and like 900 horsepower, and it was the coolest thing to hear an American V8 underside a highway in Japan. Now, if you don't want to spend time doing all of that, you can obviously go explore the outskirts of Tokyo and enjoy the beaches and all the beautiful parks and shrines that exist. But if you're ever wondering if people are just hyping it up too much, I don't think they are. I think people that try to make it their entire personality is always a little bit weird, because I do believe that America, just the location, is a pretty fantastic place to live, and there's so much to experience and enjoy and culture to be found if you're willing to look for it. But if you ever need a little bit of a refresher on life and you want to see what it feels like when two people can agree that the greater outcome of multiple people is better than the individual outcome of one, that's what Japan's all about. From the train stations to the way that they operate their entire culture, it is an incredible feeling. And to be there and experience the entire opposite of what car culture is from a Japanese sense, which seems to be still a slight sense of rebelliousness towards the status quo, it almost feels like the way that they build cars and why they build cars almost feels a little bit deeper. There might be some language barrier that's helping with that, sure, but I will still choose to live in that ignorance just a little bit because of how fun it feels. Last thing I'll say, if you can make it out to Fuji Speedway, you definitely should. We're gonna be bringing the team out there. I wanted to share that with you. I absolutely love the fact that I can sit down and talk about this, because it's been a dream for multiple years. When Dakota and Giles sat down for the very first time when we had margaritas down the street to tell them that if they quit their job, I promised them that they would have a home at this company, to being able to take them and their wives to Japan, it makes me want to brag a little bit. And I'm very thankful that you guys have been able to make that possible. And I hope one day we can bring even more of you out to Japan by doing a fun little trip or something like that through MartinIWorks. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Keep an eye out for all of the Japan content that's coming. And of course, thank you so much for an incredible 2025. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so thankful for all of the feedback and all the tips that you've given me. And I can't wait to continue learning how to grow, build, drive, and race all the incredible cars that are around me. We'll see you tomorrow.